Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, the D-O-U-G, here for another great main event we have for you tonight. You know who I am. I am your host with the most, the D-O-U-G. Also joining me tonight is my co-host, one of two co-hosts, the lovely but deadly Miss Kayla. Kayla, how is your Friday night going?
This Friday... Thank you, everybody. I love you! My Friday night has been absolutely wonderful. Amen.
Amen. Now, Kayla, as you know, you and me, we were in contract, working out with somebody, trying to get him to join the main event because he was the biggest free agent in WCC, and we signed him. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the main event table, and also the other host of the main event, joining myself and Miss Kayla, all the way from Denver, Colorado, the hottest free agent in WCC, till now, Captain Ron.
Save your applause. People, save your applause. I'm pretty sure you'll be booing me before this show's over. But hello and welcome. That's right. The hottest free agent is no longer a free agent. I finally signed with the #1 show on the WCC network, and it's about to become #1 for how many weeks again?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Now that is truly how we roll. Mr. Barrett, please take it away.
Thank you. And please remember, please support your local indie wrestling scene out there because those stars will be the future of this business. And also tonight, the main event is brought to you by Pizza Hut, Dunkin' Donuts, and Budweiser. Please remember, those are all three things you need to live in this world. Now, Miss Kara, what exactly happened on Monday Night Raw for people who may have missed it?
Raw was actually semi-okay this week, except how it all started. Well, first off, the one thing that I do really like about the start is Hulk Hogan. He announced that there would be a Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I think is what he called it. I don't know. Whoever wins it gets a Andre the Giant trophy thingamabob. Andre the Giant is fucking amazing. I miss the fucker like crazy. Anyway, that's pretty much the only thing interesting about this segment other than, John Cena coming out and ruining it. But hey, it was saved by the Wyatt family who spat some words out at Hulk Hogan and John Cena. That's pretty much it for the beginning, and it was okay, and then it was absolute shit. Ouch. What did everyone think of the opening segment there?
Well, Captain Ron, since you are the new host, I'm going to let you start on this one.
Oh, sorry, I was freshing. You were saying something about the opening of Raw. Nobody was paying attention to it. That's why it was just so depressing. It's like, yes, it's great. I'm happy about the fact that they're actually, taking an idea from another certain wrestling group on Facebook, hint, hint, and taking it and running with it and putting it on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. It's also nice that, they're finally honoring Andre the Giant, who arguably was one of the best Royal Rumble performers and Battle Royal performers for that matter of the industry. So it was great to see them do that. However, the fact that pretty much this is the best idea that Hulk Hogan can come up with, good, because of the fact that now we get to see more than just a regular, normal cast of characters on Raw and SmackDown. Now we get to maybe see some guys from NXT, maybe some guys that's been in the back kind of clamoring, waiting for that extra moment to arrive. Or bad, because it will become incredibly stupid, incredibly bad. Somebody we wouldn't want to win is going to win, or somebody that sucks is going to win, and everybody's going to be like, well, that was like a good half hour, 45 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. Thanks, WWE. Go fuck yourself.
I'm going to agree with you, Captain Ron, there. I think the good side of this, a lot of guys who normally want to get used are going to get used. Of course, you got the NXT guys. Hell, we could even see surprises with one-night returns from some of the guys from the past. Now, just to clarify for everyone who's listening, please know, the only people in this match so far are Big E, Ryback, Curtis Axel, and Django, Alberto Del Rio, and Dolph Ziggler, as they are the only ones announced for this Battle Royal.
Doug, you said it wrong. It's Fan Dumbo.
I'm not going to try to say his name wrong or not because I actually like Mr. Fandango, but he ain't winning that fucking match.
And we also have another little wild card in there. I mean, we've all seen him showing up, speaking some weird language that nobody can fucking pronounce, not even our own illustrious producer. He's kind of looking at him like, ¿Qué? ¿Qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué pinche pendejo? That's pretty much what our producer has been doing since this weird-looking man, woman that's been handling this barefooted Umaga wannabe known as Alexander Rusev that's been coming out. So we still don't know what his status is, but he may even be included in this little battle royal just for shits and grins.
Good point.
You know, I hope that this guy's in the battle royal because it's kind of like how when Santa was coming in, all they were doing was talking, and he's just coming out there speaking, what is he, Russian? Whatever the fuck he's speaking.
Swahili, I believe.
They're like, okay, you're not impressing anybody. Get in the ring and let's see what you can actually do. Thank you very much.
I mean, I'm more stuck on the fact that, you know, they had to find probably the ugliest man on the face of the planet, besides a couple of people in Wrestling Commentary Central. We won't say Harvey's name, but that's besides the point. But and they literally threw a wig and a dress on him and said, "Hey, guess what? Here you go. Let's put this ugly looking broad out there and have her sitting here speaking some weird crazy tongue. She probably don't even know what the hell she's saying either. Except namya. I'm thinking that's something a 3-year-old would say when they're hungry.
Yeah, I'd rather not discuss.
I have a smile on my face now. I'm having a good laugh. So thank you for that. Now, Kel, what else happened on launch? I believe there was some kind of hostile takeover. Right this week.
I forgot to mention after the opening thing, it actually turned out to be some match that John Cena ended up winning. Fuck you, John Cena, for beating Eric Rowan, who has 10 times more talent than you. Go to hell. You can go bury yourself in a pit, okay, and stay there.
And that was the cleanest way she could actually say that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, what else happened on Raw? Well, there was a confrontation between oh, wait, no, Undertaker was not there. My bad. Sorry, I was thinking of last week. Hold on, I am searching for the main event because I don't remember what the main event was. Oh, yeah, it was Sheamus versus Batista, right? Oh, no.
It was Batista and Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan and
The
Big Show.
Yeah.
Slow. Yeah, oh yeah. I watched this match and I fell asleep through half of it. So, I know for a fact that Daniel Bryan and Batista won it.
No, it was Daniel Bryan and Big Show who won it.
Daniel Bryan and the Big Show. Honestly, I have nothing to say about this match because it was a boring-ass tag match. So,
it wasn't even about the match. It was more about pretty much what happened prior to that match that pretty much got everybody's attention.
Yeah. So
I mean, we all knew this match was going to suck anyway. Why even sugarcoat it? It was bullshit.
Definitely on that. Probably the worst main event of the night. But I think
that title belongs to Big Show versus Kane, but I guess we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later on when we get to SmackDown. Now, of course, I know what we're all here to talk about, at least for the Raw segment, right, Kayla? The one thing that's been plugged on VH1, Entertainment, NBC, I think when I went to Walmart today, I think I saw it on a news magazine that wasn't even related to WWE that was talking about the hostile takeover on Raw.
I suppose you're regarding the Yes Movement?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the Yes Movement, which brings that to our new little thingamabob. Buy or sell? Buy or sell? Did Daniel Bryan's Yes Movement save WrestleMania 30? Anyone want to take this first?
Captain Ron, the floor is yours.
Wow, I am feeling the love here tonight. Let's sit here and spice things up a little bit, people. We're going to buy this thing. Look at how this was. Look and see how WrestleMania was before Daniel Bryan's infamous Occupy Raw this past Monday night in Memphis. We had Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. On paper, sounds great. In reality, it's basically going to be like somebody literally digging up the bones of every cast member of the Golden Girls and putting strings on them and making them dance like puppets for 20 minutes. Not that good. Batista versus Randy Orton. Again, in reality, sucks. On paper, would have been good, except that we've all learned in the past, putting two heels in a match for a major title does not fucking work, WWE. Obviously. That was it. That was what we had. Then you throw in this nice little curveball, which everybody saw it coming, and anybody who says that they didn't see it coming was either blind, drunk, retarded, stupid, or probably from Dallas, Texas. In all fairness, when it comes down to it, this was probably the best move WWE can make to save WrestleMania. The Battle Royal would not have been enough to sit here and get people to actually say, you know what, I think I'll get the WWE Network just so I can watch WrestleMania. No. You had to give them something bigger, better, badder, bolder, ballsier. Literally, Daniel Bryan doing what he did was pretty much a ballsier move than CM Punk literally realizing how much the Cubs literally flat out sucked.
Damn. Is that it, Captain, or do you want to continue?
Oh, I can save the rest of that for later.
All right, no problem. Now it's my turn. I'm actually going to buy it as well. It's going to be because of the fact of this. I think if you didn't do it, I think a lot of people would have been disappointed with Mania. I mean, let's be honest. Before that, we only did 3 matches. Lesnar and Taker, which that goes on looks good on paper, but at least let's hope it doesn't suck. You got Orton and Batista, who, let's be honest, I think we all would have watched golf, and then you got Cena and Wyatt, which promo-wise, that's going to work. It's just going to be will the match work. And now you have Triple H and Daniel Bryan, where if Daniel Bryan wins, he gets to be in that WWE title match. That's going to make everyone buy the pay-per-view.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
And the best thing is, WWE stole this idea from the Punk fans in Chicago, because weren't all the CM Punk fans saying this is what they were going to do, and they didn't do it, and look what WWE does the next week. WWE stole their idea, and they ran with it. So, Chicago, you got played.
Yeah, well, personally, I have to agree with you boys here. I would definitely buy the pay-per-view just because I think really it's true. If there wasn't the Yes Movement, you wouldn't have so many fans into whatever is going to happen. I mean, you have Triple H taking on Daniel Bryan. Of course, everyone's going to want to watch that match, especially all the yesers out there, whatever the fuck you're going to call Daniel Bryan fans. But, I mean, pretty much that's just gotten everyone's attention. They're going to buy this pay-per-view just so they can see if Daniel Bryan wins and gets into that main event. And I think that's pretty much what everyone's focus is going to be, is mostly on that, rather than, the bullshit matches that are already on the card, aside from Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. That one I care for.
Yay. Well, is that it for all, Kayla?
Oh, yes, well, I have nothing else to say for Raw. For me, there was nothing else really interesting to talk about on Raw.
Damn, I actually got to agree. So with that being said, I think it's time to move to the main event, shall we?
Yes, let's shall.
All right, we are jumping to the WWE Network, which, remember, the main event now comes on Tuesday nights. Of course, you can watch it any other time. This thing for the main event must have been crappy endings, because each match had a dumb ending. The first match was Los Matadors. You know how I feel about them. Los Tito Santana and the Flying Guacamole took on Wave Axel. Now, Los Matadors would win this tag team match thanks to El Torito, a.k.a. that little damn fucking bull. Keep in mind, like I just said a minute ago, all the matches had a bullshit finish to a certain extent. They won because El Solo pretty much got in the match when the ref wasn't paying attention. So, referee, you're an idiot. Moving on. Divas title match. Of course, AJ Lee was defending against Natalya, and AJ Lee would win. Now, Natalya had the sharpshooter locked in the middle of the ring, but again, bullshit controversy, Tamara Snuka of the Big Samoan. Does anyone really know who the fuck she is, really?
Tamina Snuka?
Superfly Snuka Jr.
Pretty much.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a fourth person with us. Who could that be?
Hey, Dougie. Hey, Karen. Hey,
hello.
It is the
shit.
Doc and Reese, welcome to the main event. As just in case since you were not here earlier, Captain Ron is now a part of the table of the main event. He is now a host, so wish him congratulations.
Yeah, I like that news.
Good, because it's only going to get bigger, badder, and ballsier from here.
Yeah. Now, like I said, AJ would win.
Dougie.
Yes?
Hold on, Doug, can I touch on that match for a minute?
Yes, go ahead.
I could have swore that the referee actually saw Tamina push the rope to AJ, and I was like, yeah, shouldn't that have constituted a disqualification?
Yes, it should. He did see that, which made me laugh my ass off, saying, that's a botch. But AJ would win because Natalya got distracted by this. So again, another match, and this match was good. The Divas match was actually a good match, but a bad ending. And that was the theme of the main event, because the main event was Dean Ambrose taking on Mark Henry, and Dean Ambrose would keep the belt. You know, he had a little help, but let's be honest here. Did anyone really think Mark Henry was going to walk out U.S. champion?
It would have been nice, because it would have been a nice little change of scenery and focus all the attention for the Shield, possibly literally getting that showdown that needs to happen. I mean, to put Kane and the Wyatts and, of course, the Shield, I mean, that's just so much clusterfuck around that whole situation that it's almost imperative for Ambrose to lose that title just on principle.
We're going to be talking about the Shield and Kane, because if in case you watch SmackDown tonight, we all may have been wrong thinking they might have had it be breaking up, and we'll explain when we get to SmackDown. But Dean Ambrose would keep the match. It was an okay match, but let's remember, you got Mark Henry, who, as much as I like Mark Henry, he is a big guy. You're not going to get a lot out of him, unfortunately. But Dean Ambrose, to his credit, he did do well against him. He did do good psychology by going after the legs, which is always a smart thing when you're the little man in the match. So overall, though, the main event this week, even though there were good matches, but just very bad, weird endings. So I got to give it a 3 out of 5. It was okay, but not something I could recommend this week. Did anybody else watch main event?
I did. I only caught the 2 title matches, though. But yeah, I got to side with you. It's like great matches, bad endings.
Well, Rockland, thank you for agreeing with me, because it always feels nice when people agree with me. Now that we're done with the main event, I did not get to watch NXT this week, so I do apologize. I will watch it next week, but work's been kind of hectic. So now we're going to jump to Spike TV and TNA, where Captain Ron, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Impact. Now, this is just a special personal note for the host of TNA Recipe. Take notes, because this is how you get people hyped up about something like this. I believe that we had ourselves one hell of a party following the infamous Lockdown pay-per-view. Now, let's be as honest as possible. Nobody expected TNA to be able to capitalize on a shit situation. Obviously, the photos have been swirling rampant of the emptiness of Miami's own AAA arena, but that's okay, because Impact was back, and where it all began, in the Impact Zone, and damn, they were on and popping. Ladies and gentlemen, Impact started off with a bang with the arrival of MVP announcing that Dixie Carter's reign is officially over. Dixieland has officially been closed for business, and unfortunately for Magnus, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you, my friend. Unfortunately, while you may have won your precious title with the help of the artist formerly known as Abyss, you now have to sit here and face Samoa Joe one more time. Now, unfortunately for Magnus, his night may have sat here and started out like shit, but it damn sure ended shittier for him, as the very people he thought he was going to have his back had their hands full. Case in point, Abyss had his hands full with Joe, and now has his hands full with revenge-minded Eric Young. And now Magnus also wanted to expect support from the very men who backed up Dixieland's infamous, fearless, gutsiest, balls bigger than an Amazonian and zoning on Brawl TV, Dixie Carter. But unfortunately for them, they had other plans, and those guys decided to take it upon themselves to go after the man responsible for Dixie's departure. And yes, it's a shocker, folks. Do you know who he is? That man is Bully Ray. That's right, folks. The shocker of a lifetime. Bully Ray comes out of nowhere and just drops good old Bobby Roode, allowing MVP to get the pin, the victory, and complete control over Impact Wrestling's wrestling operations. No, that wasn't just a double standard. This was huge and big, and they paid for it. With the help of EC3, that little British brick clit circus midget rock star potato spud, and, of course, the reigning tag team champions, Bully Ray got a welcoming to the Impact Zone like nobody's business. And unfortunately, it wasn't the way he wanted it, but the damn show damn sure ended the way he would have felt good about it. I'm not even going to go into the whole situation involving the three-way between Sam Shaw, Mr. Anderson, and Jack's Mannequin, but that's besides the point. But I will say this much. Impact saw themselves a lot of great matches, including the arrival of Willow, who pretty much just wanted to just beat the hell out of old Potato Spud and delivered on that guarantee as well. Bully Ray spent the entire night beating the holy shit out of everybody and made damn sure that the men who took him down were going to pay for it in dividends. And so far, after the tag champs got their asses kicked by the Japanese Connection, led by the new X Division champion, they ended up getting their asses kicked black ass Brooklyn Hell's Kitchen style in every sense of the word by Bully Ray. And then he turned his attention to a pissed off EC3 who found out that next week on Impact he will be facing a returning Strike Force superstar and former ECW champion, WWE United States champion, and all-around good guy, one of my best friends, close friends and colleagues, the boss, Bobby Lashley. And that didn't sit too well, EC3, but he didn't have time to soak. He got his ass straight robbed and rocked, courtesies of Bully Ray. And the show couldn't have ended any fucking better, as good old Bully Ray got to sit here and get his hands on the man responsible for the initial assault to begin the night. When Bobby Roode came out and brought the fight to him, Bully Ray delivers, drops the hammer, avoids all the pain of a good old-fashioned spine buster, sits here and drops old Bobby Roode with a bully cutter before setting up some table and, shockingly enough, giving another Canadian a big, giant piece of wood. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ron, honestly, is that shocking to you? No, because Roode got exactly what the fuck he deserved.
Amen to that shit. And couldn't have had him to a nicer jackass than the man who calls himself the hit factor of professional wrestling. Well, Bobby Roode, I got some good news for you and some bad news. The good news is your hair was still in the same places when you got dropped to that table. But the bad news about it, bud, you just pissed off the most uncontainable son of a bitch on the entire roster who literally, he's not fighting for titles. He's not fighting for a roster spot or his contract. He's just wanting to go around and beat people's asses, and that is the bully / Bubba / brother that I remember. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week on Impact, we have two big matches already announced, courtesies of the new boss MVP. The boss, Bobby Lashley, returns to TNA action for the first time in over 4 years to take on EC3. You can almost bank that that's going to be a victory, and EC3 is going to be paying for it. And a rematch from Lockdown for the World Heavyweight title. It will be Samoa Joe taking on the so-called greatest champion in history, Magnus. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Impact Slam Back. Back to you, Doug, in the studio.
Oh, but before we continue, let's remember there was an added thing to it. Abyss will be handcuffed to Eric Young during that match. Let's see how that plays out. And
well, I don't mean to cut you off, Dougie boy. I'm sorry, but I mean it's smart, but it's stupid. Because look how big Abyss is compared to Eric Young.
There's one thing I don't think we're getting. It's not about the size. It's not about the size about the fight of the size of the dog. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. The bottom line is Eric Young has proven himself to be just as hardcore and tough as nails as Abyss. And Abyss has been going pretty soft. But unfortunately, in some cases, when it comes down to it, there have been a lot of monsters that have been looking pretty soft lately. So in all fairness, it's not that big a surprise that basically Abyss ends up being somebody else's bitch for a change.
Ooh. Now,
when we saw one of them in Monday's main event. What?
Oh,
Am I the only one that is just like, who gives a fuck who's bitch and whatever is going on with Abyss? I lost interest a while ago.
She lost interest in Abyss the very moment it realized that Abyss actually was a man and not a woman. But that's besides the point. So here's your buy or sell courtesies of TNA. Dixie Carter's departure, good for TNA or bad for TNA?
Very, very good for TNA, but I very good for TNA, but I was still fuck her. I'm just saying.
Bro, you need to seriously get laid like this weekend. You seriously need it. Anyway,
I got laid earlier. I'm finna actually get laid in a couple of hours again. So
this is not sex battle. Let's not talk about that.
We have to talk about sex every now and then, otherwise people just start losing interest. Anyway.
Good point. Well, since we're done with TNA, I'm going to, unless anybody else wants to say they'll buy or sell that.
Well, I'm just going to go right off and say I am buying that because you know what, Dixie? Good fucking riddance. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey.
Well,
hey. Goodbye.
But you know what, though? It's like finally now, like, the ratings, I think, are going to peak back up. So, like, you know, to where they were when she wasn't on TV. You know, like,
I honestly agree with Ron. I mean, they need it. They needed a change so badly in TNA that they literally had to make that call to Colorado Springs, Colorado, and bring back someone who literally never wanted to leave the company, wanted to keep doing what he was doing, which was perfectly fine. And it's going to be good to see exactly how they play out because, in all honesty, now they have this chance there and bring in some real main event players. Honestly, I would not be surprised if before the end of 2014 you see AJ Styles back in TNA. This is how gutsy I am about this latest move.
But also, though, they got the partnership with Wrestling One, I believe. So it's like, you know, you can get, new stars in there and make them your own versus, you taking somebody like a Jeff Hardy that's established from a different company and, you're just going to go off of his popularity. But you have a chance to make a star of your own from a different company that's not even really, well known like that or let alone come on TV. So you have a good chance. It's just that you need to get Jeff fucking Jarrett back to fucking company, let him run it the way he wants to.
Honestly, like when Jeff Jarrett, when he actually had the company, people actually watched it. I watched it because it was actually good. And then when he lost control of it, really?
Yeah, Jarrett actually was a key proponent, and it was like, I actually thought he was one of the best things about it, like, outside it, because not only was he a good owner, but he also, as a matter of fact, I'm going to even go on record. I thought there was times that he was actually out McMahonning Triple H and Vince McMahon on that one.
Well, I'm back, guys. I'd like to apologize. My phone decided to be stupid, so Verizon. Go fuck yourself.
It's not Sprint for once.
Nope, not this time.
I apologize, guys. Like I said before Verizon turned me off, Miss Kara, I know there was a main event tonight, but I believe we also had a Hall of Fame inductee go in tonight as well, correct?
Oh, yes. Carlos.
Yeah.
Now that's cool.
Yeah,
sorry, I lost my mind there for a second. I can't remember the whole name.
Carlito.
Don't even know what's going on. Wait, I got a question. Who is going to induct him, though?
I'm assuming Primo and Carlito.
Will they let Carlito back in the WWE?
As many times as many of these guys have pissed off WWE, they have to let Carlito in for this because you cannot possibly, by the graces of God and the wrestling gods themselves, allow Carlos Colon to be inducted into your Hall of Fame without bringing in his boys. They did the same thing for Dusty Rhodes when they let Cody and Dustin do it. They have to let Carlito do this because this is, in all fairness, WWE wouldn't have been cool without Carlito, and Carlito would have been cool without Carlos Colon. So bottom line, Carlito Colon needs to be brought to the Hall of Fame and literally in there with that big giant afro and a fucking apple in his hand, toss it to his old man, let his old man do what he does best.
Yeah, because I doubt they're going to have, like, Los Matadores, like, return back to Primo and Epico.
Guacamole!
I'm actually going to say this. I think Carlito will be inducting him, and I said it early on the show. I remember that Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I said there might be a few surprises. Wouldn't it be ironic? Carlito inducts his dad in. The next night, he's in the Battle Royal.
It would be true, because it would be good. It would be a good return.
Honestly, with that, I would not be shocked.
Really?
If he inducts his dad in, I wouldn't be surprised if he show up at the Battle Royal.
It's almost like mandatory for him to actually be in this battle. I mean, if you're going to have an Andre the Giant Royal Rumble Battle Royal, if you're going to throw in some names, you're obviously going to bring in some people that pretty much used to be with the company. You're going to bring in a couple of legends. Why not bring in Carlito? Because in all honesty, he was one of those guys that literally at least made watching SmackDown at least somewhat enjoyable, even while he was beating the hell out of John Cena at the same time, which I'm sure puts a smile on Miss Kara's face.
When I was younger, when I was like 16, 17, that didn't put a smile on my face. But now, when I go back and watch it, oh, joy to the world. I'm having Christmas.
Exactly. I mean, Carlito Colon was probably the coolest Puerto Rican since, well, his dad.
To be honest,
that's about the.
And of course, we all know who like really wound up screwing him up, even though he had a great match with him in Unforgiven like a year later.
No comment.
Now that we talked about Carlos Colon and Carlos Colon, congratulations on behalf of everyone from the main event and WCC on getting inducted when we get there. Now, Miss Kara, I believe we had a main event that was called the winner of the match gets to dress up as Kingpin in the next Spider-Man film.
Oh, that main event bullshit match that made me fall asleep completely?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kane and Big Show. If you wanted to put on a Snorefest, congratulations. You have made the biggest Snorefest you could possibly make in the last month because this match was absolutely terrible. What were you thinking? You wrote up this shit thinking you can entertain fans? Fuck! That was stupid!
I actually have a theory why this match was made. Because originally, I didn't like it. I'm like, this match is going to be terrible. But if you go back and watch that match, the Shield kind of did not help Kane, and then they beat Kane down after the match. And now again, we know how we all feel about internet rumors. But I'm just going to go out there and just say maybe for once may even talk about an internet rumor for the first time in history of mankind. There's a rumor that the Shield will not be breaking up. Instead, the Shield will be in a 6-man tag against Kane and the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Oh, that's up. You know what, though? I wouldn't mind seeing the NXT Tag Team titles on the main show. You know, kind of give it some more, you know, a little something, you know, versus, we got these little penny-ass looking titles and shit. I hate them damn belts. God, those belts are a fucking eyesore. They're even worse than a fucking spinner belt. And the spinner belt was
NXT. Go figure.
No, I'm not talking about the NXT titles. I'm talking about the titles that the Usos got. Them motherfuckers are fucking hideous.
You would think WWE could at least get something for them, but anyway.
I would rather for them to bring back the older titles back in the Attitude Era or the Punk Attitude Era titles. Those. Or just couple matches too. Nobody want to walk around no belt looking like a fucking penny. I'm sorry.
See, you know what? If you got to complain about those titles, look at every other fucking titles they have. They all look stupid anyway.
Hey.
Yeah,
and it kind of.
But going back to like the whole thing of it is like, yeah, I think Kane may have inadvertently saved Pandora's box from happening here because it was like, it was looking like the Shield was getting ready to go off, but then, like, based off what happened Monday on Raw, I was like, did Kane accidentally help the Shield out? And it was like, especially I noticed Roman's reaction in particular. It was like, we'll confront any demon that stands in our way. And I noticed, that didn't get Kane all too happy.
It did not, though. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this, because I think originally, everyone in this room, we discussed it, that they were going to have the Shield, have the breakup and have a match at Mania, but like I just said, it doesn't look like that now. I think they may have changed plans on us, which if they did, hey, fine, because I think a lot of people want the Shield to stay together. But please, for the love of God, do not let this fail.
You know, I just want to say, like, I'm a huge Shield person. I'm fine with them staying together. But doesn't it sound more interesting for them to split up? I mean, there's so many directions you could go with them splitting up. Because, I mean, they could have good feuds and one-on-one matches. I mean, hey. My fear is that if they do break up, that they're going to start burying a certain member, and that member is going to be nothing, even though pretty much all of them are talented in their own way.
Well, you know what? You know what you're going to look at on YouTube? Hopefully it's still there. Go look up Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. His name was Leoki down at Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW. You will see an awesome-ass triple threat match. Awesome as fuck. Literally, I mean,
what are you talking about?
That match is awesome.
Yes, it is. Now, I'm going to just throw this out there before we get to Ring of Honor. I think, and the only reason I'm presuming they're doing this, if it's not just leave them together, I think they're doing this, let's remember, I think Captain Ron, you and me, I'm about to say the person we both love from wrestling, somebody we both love and we would love to meet and punch him. I think after the CM Punk situation, I think a lot of the storylines, they changed because of that, because a lot of fans were pissed. So this is the way they're keeping the show because of the CM Punk situation, hey, fine. But again, that's just my opinion. They're doing this because of what happened after the Rumble.
But you know what? Though? Also, they could be saving the heel breakup for after WrestleMania, because think about it. A lot of heel turns, unexpected shit happens after WrestleMania.
Especially the night after.
Very true.
Yeah, it doesn't happen directly at WrestleMania. Everything just follows after.
Right. Everything is then all the good shit is after WrestleMania. That's when you find out who they're gonna go with, like Denver at SummerSlam, all this other shit. You know, you really find out your stars after WrestleMania.
Unless your name happens to be Batista or Edge, and then you just gotta take a shit on everybody.
Oh God, don't even mention Batista. God.
Now that we're going to leave WWE and TNA, so everybody wave bye to them in the little pickup truck we're in, and for some reason I'm driving. God help us all.
Ladder match.
Yes, I know what you're ready for, Rockin', but we're going to get to that in a minute. Now we're heading to Ring of Honor. Remember, Ring of Honor in the main event. This is the only place you'll ever hear about it, excluding Ring Rockers on Wednesday nights. Last week, Raising the Ball happened, which there were two nights, this part 1 and part 2. Just to give you a quick result of night 1, Jay Lethal defeated Cyrus Young with the lethal injection following a low blow. After that, Michael Burnett with Marie defeated Tyson Dux with the, and I kid you not, they go back to Japan.
Oh yeah, you know they're engaged. Maria and Mike Bennett, I think. Yeah, they're engaged.
I do find it funny. He's marrying CM Punk's sloppy seconds. Ooh, yes, I went there, folks.
You're just jealous because you can't touch her.
I actually did get to touch, and I actually have her autograph. I actually got her to autograph the Playboy issue she was in, so I'm in a happy mood. Thank you, Ingrid.
That's not what she
said.
That turned around on me.
Did it now?
Yes, it did. After that, we had an Into the Wood 3-way tag team match. Note, if any team, excluding Red Dragon, won that match, they would get a tag team title shot immediately. Adrenaline Rush would win that match because Bobby Fish got pinned. But right after it, Red Dragon would defeat Adrenaline Rush to keep the tag team titles. The Decades, B.J. Whitmore and Jimmy Jacobs defeated Cedric Alexander and Adam Page. But note, following the match, Jimmy Jacobs kicked Alexander out of the ring, but he told Page not to follow Alexander. Adam Page left with the Decades. So I pose this question for anyone who watches Ring of Honor religiously. Is Adam Page joining the Decade?
Possible. I was like,
if opportunity knocks, answer it.
Oh, you cannot answer it, too. We can just wait till we get a definite answer.
Well, I don't know where to watch Ring of Honor. Only way I watch Ring of Honor is on Saturdays.
Well, Saturdays or Sundays, they can be a part of their little fan thing they have on their website. That's how I usually get most of it, usually. Anyway.
And what time does it come on, though?
It depends what state you're in, because I know in Virginia it comes on Saturday nights at 8 or 9 o'clock, and then again Sunday night around 11.
And here for me, it always comes on at 11 Sunday night, or not Sunday, Saturday.
It's one of those.
It come on 9 o'clock Saturday, my time.
Okay, well, all right, well, that's good to know.
Well, Doug, I would say something, but honestly, I can't make like some accurate predictions. So
that is fine. I'm not going to hold a gun to anyone. Said you don't have to answer it this week. We'll probably talk about more of that incident when we get to Supercard of Honor and other shows. Continuing with Raising the Ball, Chris Taylor would defeat Roderick Strong. The Briscoes and Michael Elgin would defeat Kevin Steen and the Young Bucks. And Adam Cole would defeat Matt Taven to keep his Ring of Honor World Championship on night 1. Night 2, though, this is when things get fun and things go crazy. Michael Elgin would defeat Tyson Dukes. Roderick Strong and B.J. Whitmer would defeat Adrenaline Rush. Michael Burnett would defeat Jay Lethal thanks to holding the tights. One of the good old classic moves of wrestling. Now, the Briscoes and the Outlaws, better known as Team Redneck versus Team EL.CIBERNETICO, fought for double disqualification. But Nigel McGuinness came out and said this will now be a no DQ. Briscoes would defeat Outlaw Inc. in the no disqualification match. In the grudge match, Cyrus Young would defeat Matt Taven, who was distracted by Truth Martini. As many of you know, Truth Martini was the ex-manager of Matt Taven. And then Kevin Steen would defeat Cedric Alexander, but after the match, Outlaw Inc. would come out on stage and taunt Kevin Steen. Now, the next bit of news is something that happened on Raising the Ball night number 2. The Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, if hopefully I'm pronouncing their names correctly, defeated Red Dragon to win the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. So congratulations to them. But doing a little bit more digging, they actually have 3 tag team titles. Ring of Honor,
it's New Japan,
the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, and the PWG World Tag Team Champions, which I believe that is Pro Guerrilla Wrestling, if I am correct.
Yes, you are.
All right, and so they got 3 of the tag team titles pretty much, and we all know those tag team titles very well. So congratulations to them. That's something that's very hard to do. I mean, even the Legion of Doom, they did win all the belts in their prime, but they didn't do it all at once. So congratulations to them. That is something very special indeed. In the main event, Adam Cole would defeat Chris Hero in a Ringmaster's Challenge. Now, pretty much the Ringmaster's Challenge is the first 2 falls are normal falls, and if it goes to a 3rd fall, it goes into a Iron Man match, which it did. It actually ended in a tie at the end of the Iron Man 3-3. But Nigel McGuinness came out and said, no sudden death. Adam Cole would win the belt in overtime with a backslide pin. So that is all your news for that particular show, Raising the Bar. Now, Black and Reed, you were talking about ladders not too long ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to break the news for
everyone, yes, because I broke this on your show. April 4th at Supercard of Honor. Pins would not matter. Submissions would not be a factor. Because in New Orleans, Adam Cole and Jay Briscoe will face off in Ring of Honor's most defining match to end all conflicts, Ladder War number 5. That is right. Ladder War is making its return. And if you don't know what Ladder War is, well, Rock and Reese, I'll let you fill them in on this.
Yeah, no, like, for those who don't know, like, Ladder War is pretty much it. It's, the name says it all. No rules, no time limit, and it's pretty much end all, day off. First man to get the belt, they will walk out in New Orleans the champions. It'll be at, I think it's going to be at the New Orleans Auditorium, so it's like, actually one of the...
Ain't that considered just a ladder? Ain't that considered just a ladder, like a normal ladder match?
Yeah, normally, yes, but here's the thing. There would be not 1 ladder, not 2, not 3 ladders, but a lot of ladders surrounding the ring. Big ones, little ones, midget ones you would get for little kids.
So pretty much you can use any ladder to win the match.
That's just like a normal ladder match, though. It's not like just a ladder match.
Yeah, but you know how like normally they say... But you know how normally they say that, you can, you're only allowed to, like, have 1 at the, they'll, like, start with 1, and then it'll be like, but here's the thing. You can, like, have 1, but while you're climbing it, you can actually have a second one to, like, bash your opponent if they try and, like, knock you off or whatever. So it's like, which is something that WWE or even TNA, for that matter, generally doesn't do.
Correct. Now, by the way, I did my research because I know we love doing that here on the main event, and your show as well, Ring Rockers Rock and Reese. There have been 4 other Ladder War matches that have happened. They went down like this. In the first one, the Briscoe brothers defeated Kevin Steen and El Generico in a successful title defense of the tag team titles on September 15th, 2007. 2 years later, the American Wars would do the same thing, defeating Kevin Steen and El Generico on September 26th, 2009, in New York City. Now, of course, the one that is mostly talked about or remembered is the All Night Express with Titus and Kenny King. We remember Kenny King, don't we?
No, I don't recollect that waste of talent.
Yeah, I'm being a smart ass. Defeated the Briscoes to earn a title shot at Benjamin and Charlie Haas on September 17th, 2011.
Good luck.
And then, of course, the last one, which was in 2012, Kevin Steen defeated El Generico in New York, New York. And that is pretty much for the Redneck title, which is in Jay Briscoe's hand, and the Ring of Honor World title in Adam Cole's hand. So when we get closer to that date, we'll discuss that. But Ladder War is returning. And finally, in a little bit of last news for Ring of Honor, Global War, which will happen on Saturday, May 10th, 2014, at the Ted Reeve Arena, 171st Main Street in Toronto, Canada. This may just catch your interest a bit because it will be having New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. The current IWGP Heavyweight Champion Rainmaker. I'm gonna probably botch every one of their Japanese names. Kasuki Okadoki.
Did you just say a handful of dookie?
I probably did. I don't speak Japanese. The IWGP International Champion Hisoki Tashana. Yeah, like I said, folks, if I'm mispronouncing these names, call me out on it, and I apologize.
Let's just call them Ching 1 and Ching 2. How about that?
Well, that works, too. The King of Strong Style, Susuke Namatana. And lastly, Jito and Judo. I'm sure Rock and Reese will probably be able to correct all those for me when he does his. And there's already been a match signed for this pay-per-view as well. It will be Kevin Steen facing the winner of the Ladder War match. So he will either face Jay Briscoe or Adam Cole for the heavyweight title. And that is your Ring of Honor news for this week.
Fantastic diagnosis there, Doctor.
Yes, and other than that, I think we are done for this week, folks.
Yep. Are we?
You got anything else to share? There's anything
you know
else
something? As a matter of fact, I do.
Uh-oh.
As one of the newest co-hosts of Main Event, I'm actually going to throw in another new segment as well. It's going to be called The Call-Out, in which I'm going to literally pick a certain wrestling conglomerate, and I'm going to literally tell them that they need to do better. Now, normally this week... go ahead. Go ahead.
I continue. My dog's acting crazy.
Mm-hmm. So guess who's my victim this week?
Big E.
Actually, TNA and WWE are officially off limits.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
This one is actually going a little closer to home.
Uh-oh.
This week, I call out the superstars of WCC Brawl. Ladies and gentlemen, from what we've noticed over the past few weeks, there have been good times and bad times. But unfortunately, over the last couple of shows, it almost seems like the superstars of Brawl have been kind of slacking at their talents. Now, with such a great young group of superstars on that roster, you would expect a lot better out of everybody currently on that roster. Now, me being the quintessential guy I am, instead of just calling out names and pointing fingers, I'm just going to ask all of you to do better, because right now I don't see much of glorified doghounds out of any of them. I see a couple of whiners, a few egotistical dicks, and, of course, the quintessential usual cast of characters that want to prove themselves to be gods. Now, unfortunately, certain superstars have departed WCC Brawl because of the lack of competition, lack of motivation, and, in all fairness, the politics. But I'm hoping those superstars come back in the near future because they have that great talent. Now, all this being said, I like the direction it's going. But to all of you WCC Brawl superstars out there, this captain expects better out of you than what you've delivered. Don't be like CM Punk and just literally take your ball and go home. Step up to the plate. Show them what you're working with. Be that champ or number one contender or number one guy or girl or team that you claim to be, and take what is rightfully yours. And if you can't do that, then pack your bags and then take your ass to whatever little podunk town you came from and hang them up and never lace them up again. Because there's lots of indie superstars who are willing to jump up and take the ball and run with it. This is the nicest way I'm going to say step up or step off. But you superstars in Brawl, I'll be watching. And I hope that you will actually show me something worth actually smiling about.
That is the captain call-out, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is one huge fucking pipe bomb. If you thought this show was crazy enough, here it goes.
Now, of course, before we sign off, don't forget we also have other shows as well. 30 minutes after Raw, we have the Raw Uncensored show. Tuesday nights, we have Overload. On Wednesday, well, Rock and Reset is your show, so please tell us what you will be doing on Ring Rockers this week.
Next Wednesday night, as I continue our March Madness, if you thought last week in the Time Machine was going to be nuts, this week we get it. Believe it or not, Dougie, I'm going to even be crazier, because this week I'm going to literally throw in a March Madness in honor of one of my personal favorites. We are going to have our tournament. We're going to actually have a literal March Madness WCC style tournament. The subject of the tournament will be the wrestling theme of because we all like the rock and roll to our favorite songs. So our tournament will be which song is the best theme song ever. You could go ECW, WCW, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, whatever. That will be this Wednesday. And I will also give a shout-out to my boy George's, because I just got that sweet deal. I had my combo to meet Rikishi, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Vader. I will tell you guys how you can do so as well.
All right, thank you, Rock and Reese. And, of course, after Rock and Reese, if you decide to stay up, which I wouldn't blame you if I won't, because the next show is not that good, it's Sex Battles with Gator. And on Thursday night, you have TNA Recipe, but who needs TNA Recipe when you got Captain on Friday night, right, Captain?
Amen.
All right, until next week. Until next week, this is Doug Barrett speaking on behalf of Captain Ron and Miss Kara and Rock and Reese. We will see you next Friday night. Please have a safe weekend, and remember, like guns and shit, clean them both before you have fun with them. See you next week, folks.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, live.